Greetings fencers, today we'll go through the plays of the Wrath Hue or Zornhau. Now the Wrath Hue by default is a hewing cut, the first play is to impact your opponent as such. However, if your opponent stays out of range, steps back, or you use the Wrath point defensively, you will find the need for these techniques. These are the lines out of the von Danzig manuscript. When an opponent cuts any Oberhau, you cut diagonally and step offline, taking the center line as you thrust. You can also do the same thing retreating backwards, but have to rely more on arm strength. If an opponent has their hands high in the Oberhau, you can bring your hands up to thrust over them. If he starts to displace your thrust, then the manuscript is specific in saying go up his blade to the other side. By keeping contact longer, he is more likely to keep being hard in the bind, which gives you more time to cut, although a full sword rotation Umschlag is often usable. When they take off, you can strike a thwart or wrath cut into them. If your opponent is hard occupying the center line, then be hard as well and bring your strong up and wind. If it fails, continue the wind to the other opening. The same can be done in a bind after taking off. If your opponent uses an extreme parry, by moving their hands far in a direction, leave the bind and strike to another opening. Using this maneuver is a long-range technique because of needing to move the point around. The example given is odd and demonstrates winding to each opening keeping the before. If you wind to an upper opening, you still have access to the lower opening. However, I believe it signifies if someone goes high in the bind, their weak is now more accessible. This works on an opponent who runs off too slowly or waits in hanging. However, more studying is necessary. In long range, use thrusts, medium range, use strikes, and close range, use slices. These can be used in all windings. Doubling can be used against cuts or parries when your opponent goes hard in the bind away from your body. When they're hard, you're on their strong, then strike to an upper opening behind their blade, with either long, short, or flat. They can be tag hits or harassing strikes, but in the right circumstance it can generate enough power to be a fight ender. Mutating is the opposite. If your opponent is soft, take their weak and thrust to a lower opening. Both duplieren and mutieren have many different forms depending on how your opponent parries. Thanks for watching, keep studying, keep practicing.
My knee pad was moving. Keep going, keep going. Sun's coming back.